What up, everybody? It's your girl Jasmine, and I'm back with another episode of Internally Woke. How are you guys doing? I hope you are okay. I hope you are well. I hope you are being safe out here in these corona streets, and I hope you are living a prosperous life. Maybe I can get through this podcast without stumbling over my words. I have a little issue with my lip. Accidentally hit myself in the lip and busted my lip. So I have numbing Orajel on it. So if it sounds like I'm talking a little funny, I probably am. But let's go ahead and hop into this podcast. If you hear rumbling in the background, it is getting ready to storm outside of my house. So that is what you hear in the rumbling. I apologize in advance, but I'm going to try and hurry up and get through this podcast before the storm gets too bad. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this week's current event. So the first thing I wanted to talk about in current events this week was Kanye. Kanye is on one of his little rampages again, I guess, where he's supposedly, I thought I heard that he had dropped out of the race, but apparently he has not dropped out, or he's back in. I don't know. But there was a lot of footage of him on his campaign trail, I guess, if that's what we're going to call it. And Kanye does not seem okay. I know we've all joked in the past about Kanye being in the sunken place and, with the Kardashian family and all that. And I think her name is Candace Boyd from Real Housewives of, I want to say, Potomac. The Shade Room posted a video that she made about her saying that the Kardashians don't care about Kanye. And I think that is a very dogmatic statement to say. You guys know me. You know how I talk. I kind of don't want to, dogmatically make claims against anybody, but I can see where she's coming from with that statement. And though I won't say that my opinion is that I think that they don't care about Kanye, my opinion is I think that they care about money and their, their appearance than they do Kanye. So not to say that he's not on the list at all. I just don't think that he's a priority. And I think, Kris Jenner will do anything to kind of protect her camp and protect her appearance and what that looks like. I mean, you guys remember when Rob Kardashian started to spiral. I mean, they made sure that unless Rob put himself out there, like, they were not speaking on him. They were not really putting him out there like that. And I think that she looks at her family as her brand because they have kind of helped her get to where she is and make the money that she's made. And so I think that she's very careful about who they allow to influence them, which is why I think that not a lot is being said from them or about them. Well, no, from them on this whole Kanye for president thing. I don't know. Do I think he needs help? Absolutely. My opinion is his mother and rap music, the music he was making prior to his mother's passing, is what kept him grounded. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be making gospel music, because I think his gospel music is reaching people better than some of these ministers and pastors out here. But what I'm saying is him in that music space, it didn't take as much production as he's putting on now. And his mother are the things that kept him grounded. I don't know much about bipolar disease. I don't know how it comes on. I assume that it's not something that just comes out of nowhere. I think the people who have it have either had it the majority of their lives and then all of a sudden display symptoms, or begin displaying symptoms in the beginning, but they don't become advanced till later on. I don't necessarily know how that works, so don't take my word for that. But I do believe that the way Kanye is, that it could be possible that he's had this all his life, but now he has nothing to keep him grounded and to keep him rooted anymore. And I don't think that Kim, with everything she has going on and the kids and everything, that they have the capacity or willingness to help him with that. Because clearly every time he's had one of these outbursts, here lately. I mean, it has been under his marriage with Kim. And so Candace was trying to say that, that's her husband and she needs to speak out and blah, blah, blah. And when you are a wife, it puts you in a hard position to speak out against your husband, unless to me, what Kanye is doing is outlandish. But to Kim, it may not be outlandish. So when you are a wife, when your husband is doing something, unless it is just crazy or outlandish to you, it is hard for you to put them in their place or call them out on it or tell them on it, because you don't want to emasculate them. So it's a really hard thing for a woman to do. So I can't really say what I would do if I was Kim or what Kim should do, but something needs to be done. The man needs help. And I don't know how he's going to get it. I did see a picture of where Kanye posted that Dave Chappelle came to check on him. But is Kanye going to take it seriously? And I do believe that Dave Chappelle was genuine in going to check on him. I just don't know if Kanye was going to take it seriously. And speaking of mental health, we have 3 other conversations on the docket today to talk about mental health. Everybody knows what's going on with Nick Cannon. And if you don't, Google it. I don't want to get into the whole thing. I'm just going to be brief and say he made some anti-Semitic comments on his podcast, Cannon Class. He was called out for it. And then I don't even think it was 24 hours, maybe 48 hours within 48 hours of the comments, and it gaining publicity and traction, he was fired from Wildin' Out by, excuse me, y'all know I be burping. He was fired from Wildin' Out by the company that owns it and runs it, which is Viacom. And so I don't have much to say about it. I just wanted to talk about the mental health aspect. I do agree with the people who are saying that if we can fire Nick Cannon that fast for his anti-Semitic comments, then we should be able to fire and arrest the police who commit murders against innocent people. I do agree with that statement. But Nick Cannon recently has been speaking about the situation and how he's getting fired from both sides. He's getting, lashed out against from the people who believe he was right and the people who believe he was wrong. And I'm not going to go into whether he was right or wrong and what I believe and all that stuff. That's neither here nor there, because I don't want to get into it. But what I will say is, I talked about this with my sister, and this is the reason that I am afraid to go viral. This is the reason that I'm scared for one of my platforms to take off, whether it be my Internally Woke podcast, whether it be my graphic design company, whether it be my authorship company where my book takes off and a whole bunch of people start following my Instagram and Facebook page for my book. I am scared to gain a substantial amount of fans and followers, because in your smallest circle, when you're not famous, when you are not an influencer, when you're not a celebrity, there are people who are not for you and who are not afraid to speak out against you. So imagine when you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people who aren't for you. I mean, it's just like, and it's not that I'm scared of what people are going to say, because everybody, like I just said, no matter how small or big you are, there's going to be somebody who has something bad to say. But the more people you have watching you, it's the influx and the amount of negative things that are being thrown your way. And even the strongest, the most strongest person can't take all of that. And that kind of ties in the next person I want to talk about, who is Tamar. Like, we've seen the backlash that she's got from being opinionated. And that's what scares me, is that I'm opinionated. Like, I have a lot to say about a lot of things. And even though on my social media platforms and even on this podcast, sometimes I try and tone it down or filter what I say, even the smallest things I say could upset somebody and make somebody mad. And I mean, you just never know. So in the case of Tamar, it's like, we don't know her situation. We don't know what led her to feel like she needed to allegedly commit suicide. Like, Like, you don't know what came her way. There is some information being leaked, I don't know if it's true or not, that she had wrote a letter to WeTV and said that they were to blame because of the way WeTV, she believes, from what I take from it, she believes that because of the way WeTV edits their show, it has caused a lot of people to be against her and how she interacts with her family and her sisters, which causes fans to be in her comments, to be in her DMs with all types of negative and probably threatening comments. And it's like, when you have your own regular people stuff going on, not your celebrity stuff, but celebrities have family issues, celebrities have financial issues, celebrities deal with their self-esteem and everything else. When you have all that on your shoulders already, and then you have these subscribers or these followers or fans, supposedly fans, coming at you out the woodworks with their opinions and how they think you should handle things, I mean, that weighs on your mental. And so I can understand how Nick Cannon's feeling, wrong or right. I mean, it's not like, well, I can't speak for Jewish people, but I mean, it didn't like he come and say, well, he did say they were savages. I don't know, but I don't want to downplay what he said, because to the people he affected, it could be, serious. And so I don't want to go there. But let's go back to Tamar then in that regard. Even she hasn't said, white people are savages. And she hasn't come out and really said any racist comments or anything. And look how people come for her. So, you could just say the smallest things and people don't have nothing but time on their hands to comb through and pick apart every little word that you said in one little sentence or statement. So those of you who know the words of prayer, pray for anybody who has mental issues and is dealing with their mental issues, and especially the celebrities who are just trying to live life. And some of these celebrities did not ask to be celebrities. Like, they just took off overnight for no reason. So we can't just say, well, they signed up for this. Nobody signed up to be attacked. I mean, it comes with it, but it's not fair. And the moment that we start saying and addressing things as they are, the moment we could probably start making a change. I don't know. Speaking of making a change, let's move on to this lady, black lady, on her hands and knees. I think she's at the one in Maryland where, all over the country, they have been painting in yellow Black Lives Matter in some form or fashion on the street. I want to say that this lady is in New York or Maryland, and she's on her hands and knees with black paint, trying to deface or paint over the Black Lives Matter mural in the street. And she's chanting, Trump 2020, refund the police. On her hands and knees, rubbing the paint, the black paint on top of this yellow Black Lives Matter mural. If that don't look like, yes, massa, I here for you. I make sure they don't talk about you, oh massa. You oh grateful massa. Ma'am. Ma'am, get up. Get up. Who told you had to do this in return for your $2,000 stimulus check? You didn't have to do this, ma'am. Get up. Who told you to be out here in these streets? How much are they paying you for this? Get up. What are you doing? Every time I think we're going to come together as a people, here comes somebody like that. Like, okay, it is one thing for you to be black and to not agree with everything that Black Lives Matter stands for. Okay, if that's how you feel, then okay. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying whatever. But for you to get out here and shuck and jive, and yes, I mean shuck and jive,